Hello everyone, my name is Beansprout and today I'm going to be talking to you about id Software's newest Doom release, which as I'm sure you're all aware, goes by the name of Mighty Doom. Mighty Doom is a top-down mobile game that somewhat reminds me of Dead Ops Arcade from Call of Duty Black Ops, except for one major gameplay element which I'll touch on later. Mighty Doom has been in development for a few years now, and although it has been available in a couple of regions around the world for quite a while, it is only now releasing worldwide for everyone to play. Something I found pretty weird when the game came out though, is that it may have been released a little bit earlier on Android, as I couldn't download it on iOS, whilst I knew people who had it already installed on their Androids. I just thought I'd bring that up because it was very odd. Let's talk more about the game and what its whole deal is. The description for the game on the App Store says the following. Descend into mini versions of iconic Doom worlds in this arcade action top-down shooter. Blast your way through hundreds of exciting levels and become mighty. Battle challenging bosses as you level up, gain powerful skills, loot new gear and upgrade legendary guns. And to be honest, that does sum up the game pretty well, but the real question is whether or not this game is fun and if it has been well received. Taking a look at the reviews on the Apple App Store, the game has got a rating of 4.9 stars out of 5, which is very good. The game also has a wealth of great reviews, with most of the ones that I've seen being in between 3 and 5 stars, majority of which are 5 stars. So the game has really good reviews and has been received very well for it being a mobile spin-off of Doom. But what is the gameplay like, and is it actually as good as everyone's been saying? Well, like I said earlier, the game does remind me quite a bit of Dead Ops Arcade, with its top-down style. The only thing that is missing is the twin-stick style of gameplay, which if I'm being perfectly honest, a console and PC port of this game that plays like a twin-stick shooter would be absolutely amazing, and I think it would be a ton of fun. So, id Software, please get taking some notes. Just imagine if there was a whole side mode in the next Doom game similar to Mighty Doom and Dead Ops Arcade. I would love that. But back to Mighty Doom. The way you move around the environment and attack enemies is rather simple, and you have one button to move around in the centre of the bottom of the screen, along with a button for your rocket launcher and other abilities that you may have equipped. At first I was a bit put off by the fact that Doom Guy automatically shoots for you and generally aims at whatever enemy is closest or is in your way. But after playing a bit more of the game, I really don't mind this feature, and in fact I feel like this is probably the best way that they could have done this for a mobile game like this. You also have the abilities that I mentioned. At the point of writing this video, I only have 2, which is the rocket launcher and the unmaker. The rocket launcher is on a cooldown, and it's an extremely useful tool in your arsenal, especially against bosses. And the unmaker is charged up by mowing down enemies, and is again a useful part of your arsenal. As you move from room to room, you occasionally get given a choice of power-ups that you can select. This is usually something such as increased max health, double rockets for the rocket launcher, or micro missiles. Which are kind of underwhelming I think, and I could barely notice them. But something I originally found very annoying is that the fact every time you die you have to restart the entire stage. This means that you lose most of the power-ups you've collected along the way, and it sets you all the way back to the beginning, meaning that you have to fight all the bosses and such all over again. But this isn't actually that bad now that I get how the game works. As you play, you earn points that can be used to permanently upgrade your Slayer and your weapons. This can help you complete the levels even faster. This system that I at first didn't like nor understand has now become one of the best parts of the game in my opinion. It makes sure that there's a decent consequence to dying in this game. That is something that I really like to see. You can't just rush through the game and restart each room if you die. No, you have to be careful with the moves that you make, which power-ups you pick up, and how you choose to traverse each room, which gives you a sort of fun zone feeling, which is only fitting considering this is a Doom game after all. I also love the game's music. Lots of tracks in this game are reimagined versions of songs from the mainline Doom games. I noticed lots of Doom 2016 music in the first segment of this game, which I'll play for you now. And I also really love the game's menu music. I think it really fits the tone of the game, and is for the most part consistent with the Doom brand and identity as a whole. The art style is also great, and I like how the enemies and characters have little collectible models that you can find scattered around the levels in Doom Eternal. I even have my own little Caco demon in real life. Look at this guy. However, the game isn't perfect. It has a lot of microtransactions and things that are locked behind a paywall. This would include things such as loot boxes, different versions of the Slayer, and all sorts. There is also adverts in this game, but they're pretty much all optional and they rarely ever pop up, so it isn't that bad to be fair. But yeah, it is a mobile game, and this is the kind of thing that you have to expect, especially considering that it's free. They do have to make money some way or another, and I guess they just decided to go with the standard mobile game way of doing this. And while it is kind of annoying, this game isn't a AAA title, and oftentimes this stuff that you have to buy doesn't really affect the game if you just don't think about it. For most of the time that I've been playing this game, I forget this stuff even exists, so it really isn't a big deal. Unless I get later on into the game, and it's basically unbeatable without having to buy new gear, or something ridiculous like that, but I doubt that's going to happen with the way the game's going so far. So, overall, Mighty Doom is very fun, and I highly recommend you go check it out. But if you have played Mighty Doom, then what do you think of it? Is it good, or is it bad? Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, if you enjoyed this video, I recommend leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as it greatly helps me in spreading this video out to more people who are interested in the topic. Speaking of that, if you want to check out any more content of mine, then I'd suggest you either watch my latest video on the left, or you can watch my video on the cancelled Doom 4 project on the right. If you would like to support the channel further, then I recommend checking out my merch store. And if you want to discuss topics like this with others, then I would direct you towards my Discord server. But with all that out of the way, thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day.